So, here's the thing. We need to find a way into the deep roads. Bartrand can lead us to the right place once we're down there, but we need a good entrance.
Any entrance would do, wouldn't it? Well, unless a dragon's sitting in it, I suppose.
We need an entrance that's close to our destination, but isn't already plundered or filled with darkspawn. Fortunately, I've received some new information. There's a Grey Warden in the city. If anyone knows how to get down there, it'll be him.
Why would a Grey Warden know that?
The Wardens don't just fight darkspawn. They forge into the deep roads all the time. And if he doesn't know, he might be able to point us to those who do.
Are there any other options?
None at the moment. Bartrand had an entrance lined up, but it was a bust. I'll keep looking, but if we don't find something, we'll have a fancy expedition with nowhere to go.
Sounds like you have it all planned out, Varric.
And that, Messer, is why I'm here. Supposedly, this Grey Warden came in with some other Ferelden refugees not long ago. A Lowtown woman named Lorene has been helping the Fereldans. We talked to her. Maybe we learn where he is. I'll keep after my contacts, see if I can drum up any other work.
Just noticed that those dwarves don't sound as dwarvish as our dwarves do.
That's a lot of dwarves in one sentence, Geralt. But yes, in that world the elves were the ones with the accent. And some humans, you'll see.
I shit you not, Raveni. It was this big.
There's no way. Impossible. I've had hundreds of those in my hands, and they're never that size.
Would I lie about something so critical?
What are you talking about?
We're discussing knives, of course. Well, daggers, technically. I never remember the difference. Why? What did you think we were talking about?
I guess you've been with a lot of men. Men, women, elves. A dwarf in drag once, but I don't recommend that. Oh. Oh, you're blushing. Why? How many lovers have you had? I never... You're a virgin. Hawke, you've been holding out on the poor girl. Get her a night at the Blooming Rose. On me.
That's, very generous.
I'm a giver.
My mother's in labor. The baby's come early. Can anyone help her?
If you're seeking aid, leave your name with my girl. We serve everyone here. No one came from Ferelden without trouble. But I can't give priority to anyone who's already found work and lodging.
I hear you know where I can find a Ferelden Grey Warden.
Only Ferelden Grey Warden I've heard of is sitting on the throne. We're out of the Blight's path now. Why would you need a warden?
The healer was one of them once, wasn't he? A warden?
Well, he's not now, and busy enough without answering fool questions about it. Where is this healer? You see what our people face in Kirkwall. They have no jobs, no homes. Most can barely buy bread. This healer, he serves them without thought for coin. He's closed their wounds, delivered their children.
And he wants nothing in return. Suspicious.
He's a good man. I won't lose him to the blighted Templars.
You mean he's a mage?
Would I stick my neck out for some purveyor of hensbane and leeches?
We would never turn someone over to the Templars, mistress. Never.
He doesn't want to be locked in the gallows just for using the gifts the Maker gave him.
I can hardly blame him.
I suppose it isn't my secret to keep. Anders has certainly been free enough with his services. Refugees in Darktown know, to find the healer, look for the lit lantern. If you have need enough, Anders will be within.
Hey, we heard you in there, asking about the healer. We know what happens to mages in this town. And it ain't gonna happen to him.
Look, we're Fereldans just trying to keep out of the Templars' sight, same as you.
Ferelden? But your clothes. I figured you for a Kirkwaller, sorry. Maker bless the rule of our King Alistair.
You know, Ravani, you promised me you'd tell me how you're shipwrecked.
I was drunk. I thought the reefs around the wounded coast were made of candy.
Oh, come on.
And a demon told me to do it. It bet me 60 sovereigns and a bottle of port. You're not the only one here who can bullshit, you know?
Survive the trip back, bloke, no.
Tom Wise?
Huh? Oh, Hawke. Haven't seen you since we did that job together for Athenril. Been a while. Heard you're going on some expedition into the deep roads. And right into Darkspawn territory. Sure that's wise?
I fought Darkspawn before.
Just watch your back. That's all I'm saying. Say, you still in the market for some poisons? Athenril's scarce these days. And the coterie have their own mixers. You find any rare reagents and want me to whip you up something, just let me know. In fact, since you're an old friend, here's a recipe. My speciality. Everyone needs an edge sometimes, right?
Poisons, what's he talking about?
He means blade oils. They do use them, but what you get is hardly refined.
This place a sanctum of healing and salvation. Why do you threaten it?
Strange occupation for a warden. Aren't you more about taint and death? Not healing and salvation.
Did the warden send you to bring me back? I'm not going. Those bastards made me get rid of my cat. Poor Sir Pouncelot. He hated the deep roads.
You had a cat named Sir Pouncelot? In the deep roads?
He was a gift. A noble beast. Almost got ripped in half by a Genlock once. He swatted the bugger on the nose. Drew blood, too. The blighted warden said he made me too soft. I had to give him to a friend in Amaranthine.
So you came to Kirkwall just to escape the wardens?
You say that like it's a small thing. Yes. I'm here because there's no warden outpost, no darkspawn, and a whole host of refugees to blend in with. And some reasons of my own.
I've always heard that joining the wardens is for life.
That's only partly true. The hopelessly tainted by the Darkspawn and plagued by nightmares about the Archdemon parts don't go away. But it turns out if you hide well, you don't have to wear the uniform or go to the parties.
I'm part of an expedition into the deep roads. Any information you have could save people's lives.
I will die a happy man if I never think about the blighted deep roads again. You can't imagine what I've come through to get here. I'm not interested. Although, a favor for a favor. Does that sound like a fair deal? You help me, I'll help you.
Let's be more specific. I don't do anything involving children or animals.
I have a warden map of the depths in this area. But there's a price. I came to Kirkwall to aid a friend. A mage. A prisoner in the wretched gallows. The Templars learned of my plans to free him. Help me bring him safely past them, and you shall have your maps.
You want to make your friend an apostate?
That's such a weighted term. Yes, Andraste said magic should serve man, not rule him. But I've yet to find a mage who wants to rule anything. It goes against no will of the Maker for mages to live as free as other men.
Forcing mages into servitude is not the way to prevent the rise of another Imperium.
That's not usually the response I get. Perhaps we will work together better than I expected.
Tell me about your friend.
His name is Karl Thekla. He was sent here from Ferelden when Kirkwall Circle required new talent. His last letter said the Knight Commander was turning the Circle into a prison. Mages are locked in their cells, refused appearances at court, made Tranquil for the slightest crimes. I told him I would come.
Are these accusations true?
Ask any mage in Kirkwall. Over a dozen were made Tranquil just this year. The more people you ask, the worse the rumors become.
Tranquil, what's that?
Their mages don't draw power from Cos but from the realm of dreams. Making a mage tranquil means cutting him off from that realm. They lose all emotions in the process.
You mean like Witchers?
Witchers hide their emotions so they don't have to talk about them. Tranquils don't feel anything. You could kill a child in front of its tranquil mother and she wouldn't care. That world of dreams, the Fade, also is the home of spirits and demons. They say demons were the first inhabitants of that world before the elves arrived. It's complicated. Anyways, making a mage tranquil also prevents him from getting possessed by a demon. But killing him would be more merciful.
How do you plan to break him out of the gallows?
I'm hoping it won't come to that. I sent Carl a message to meet me in the Chantry tonight. Make her willing, he'll be there, alone. But if there are Templars with him, I swear I'll free him from them, whatever the cost.
You've convinced me. What's your plan?
I welcome your aid. I have already sent word for Carl to meet me in the Chantry tonight. Join us there, and we'll ensure that no matter who is with him, we all walk away free.
I'll let you run your fingers through it if you want.
Your chest hair? My fingers? Oh, Varric, stop. You're making me quiver.
You know you want to.
Oh, I do. I can't resist you. No woman can.
I know. It's a terrible burden.
I saw Carl go inside a few minutes ago. No Templars so far. Are you ready?
I didn't see anyone suspicious out here. Let's do this fast.
All right. I'll handle the talking. You watch for Templars.
Anders, I know you too well. I knew you would never give up.
What's wrong? Why are you talking like...
I was too rebellious, like you. The Templars knew I had to be... made an example of.
No!
How else will mages ever master themselves? You'll understand, Anders. As soon as the Templars teach you to control yourself. This is the apostate.
No!
Never take another mage as you took him.
Anders, what did you do? It's like... you brought a piece of the Fade into this world. I had already forgotten what that feels like.
What did you do? Not the Fade part. The angry, glowing bit.
It's like a gateway to the Fade inside you, glowing like a beacon.
I have some unique circumstances, yes. But Carl, what happened? How did they get you?
The Templars here are far more vigilant than in Ferelden. They found a letter I was writing you. You cannot imagine it, Anders. All the color, all the music in the world, gone. I would gladly give up my magic. But this... I'll never be whole again.
This is what Mother was protecting me from.
Please, kill me before I forget again. I don't know how you brought it back, but it's fading.
I got here too late. I'm sorry, Carl. I'm so sorry.
Now! It's fading! Why do you look at me like that?
Goodbye. We should leave before more Templars come.
So, let me guess. This is the part where you tell me you're an abomination?
You're wrong. But not far wrong. This is hard to explain. When I was in Amaranthine, I met a spirit of justice who was trapped outside the Fade. We became friends. And he recognized the injustice that mages in Thedas face every day.
And that's different than a demon.
Just as demons prey on the deadly sins of mankind, there are good spirits who embody our virtues. Spirits of compassion, fortitude, justice. They are the Maker's first children, and they have all but given up on us.
Just say whatever you have to say.
To live outside the Fade, he needed a host. I offered to help him. We were going to work together, bring justice to every child ever ripped away from his mother to be sent to the Circle. But I guess I had too much anger. Once he was inside me, he changed.
So, you have this spirit of justice living in your head?
It's not like that. He's gone now. He's part of me. It's not like we can have a conversation. I feel his thoughts as my own. Not even the greatest scholar could tell you where I end and he begins.
That really didn't look like a happy, benevolent spirit from where I was standing.
Since when is justice happy? Justice is righteous. Justice is hard.
You tried to help a friend. Surely no harm can come of that?
I wish I still had your innocence. There was too much hatred in me. Justice thought he would overcome that. But my anger, when I see Templars now, things that have always outraged me, but I could never do anything about, he comes out. And he is no longer my friend, Justice. He is a force of vengeance, and he has no grasp of mercy.
Can justice ever be separated from you?
I don't think so. The only way a spirit has ever been separated from a living host is by its death. The curses of my own making. All I can do now is hope to control it.
Can you bring him out at will?
No. He comes only when I've lost all power over myself. It's a madness, a frenzy. I only find out after what I might have done.
Wow. Your problems make mine seem small.
Here. These are all the documents I have for this area. I can understand if you would rather me not join you personally. I cannot control my need for vengeance. I would ask no one to take on the danger of traveling with me. I will be here in my clinic if you need me.
Would a Witcher know any way to end this possession?
Difficult. Did this to himself, willingly. Might try to force that demon out, similar to a Haim. Would require some act of extreme injustice done by the host, like blowing up a building full of innocents. But we certainly don't want that to happen.
So, a Lady Sunshine, what's your first act as a noblewoman going to be?
A noblewoman with no fortune and no title. Looking for work, probably.
Practicality is for peasants, milady. You need to do something frivolous to celebrate your birthright.
Such as...
Come up to the Hightown Market and complain bitterly that there's no Orlesian silk that matches your eyes.
But what if something does match my eye? What will I do then?
Insist that they're blatantly copying you and demand royalties. A good noble always has a complaint ready, Sunshine.
I had a friend like you once. Got in all kinds of trouble. Dragged me along. Didn't think I'd be doing that again. I got a bit weighty the last time we talked. Sorry for putting that on you.
You'd be surprised how people just tell me their darkest secrets. I must look trustworthy.
You look... something. True. Proud. Like even if you don't agree with me, you'll be honest. I hope I didn't seem too selfish when I told you about justice. I didn't know what would happen. I figured a willing host, a friend. It had to be better than playing the demon and haunting some corpse.
Spirits aren't meant to inhabit human bodies. That's what demons do.
The Templars have everything. For 1,000 years they've had the Knights, the Lyrium, the bloody Maker on their side. If you're born with magic, they hear about it. They search your little rat-spit village and find you. They tell your parents they'll be thrown in prison if they ever ask about you, stripped of their rights in the eyes of the Maker. And if you run away, they hunt you down. Again and again and again.
You're starting to glow again.
And since yours is the only head here and I don't want to rip it off, I should stop. Yes, sorry. Besides, we have so much to do before the deep roads. Next time, I'll try to keep to more pleasant topics.
That book you were reading this morning, A Ciri Spear. I don't think he had a spear in the legends.
He does in this one. Read the description.
Andraste knelt before no man but her maker. But she hadn't counted on the Archon Hessarian. Can Hessarian penetrate the tight-knit defenses of the warrior prophetess? Will she be prepared to face the full blast of his power? Wait a minute. Isabella, this is a vulgar thing.
You want to borrow it?
No!
You sure? It has pictures.
Not listening, I'm not listening.
So, I've been dying to know. What was going through your head when you fought that ogre?
I barely noticed what it was. It stood in my way, so I killed it.
If I said that, I'd be full of shit. When you say it, I almost believe it. Somehow, Hawke, I imagine things won't be dull with you around. Not that I expect the deep roads to be boring, mind you. Constant threat of doom does tend to keep you awake.
What are your plans for this trip into the deep roads?
Bartrand's running the show. Andraste's ass, he'd probably do that even if we weren't paying for everything. The tide we're looking for is supposed to be a week's travel from the surface, so I hope you aren't scared of the dark. We've got supplies, muscle, excavators. The plan is to carry out everything that's not nailed down.
Anything in particular I should know about your brother?
To understand Bartrand, you've got to understand the Dwarven Merchants Guild. These are dwarves who would sell their mothers if they thought it'd get them a better share of the lyrium market. Anyone who deals with them has to sleep with a knife under their pillow. In my family, that's Bartrand.
If we'll be working together, I should find out more about you.
You're in luck. I'm always willing to talk about myself to beautiful women. My family came from Orzammar, noble house Tethras, until my father got caught fixing provings. He and our whole house got exiled. No huge loss. I was born up here. Sunshine suits me just fine.
Are you a merchant? A mercenary?
I'm a younger son. It's a difficult and dangerous profession. A lot of us die of boredom. Fortunately, being Bartrand's younger brother keeps me on my toes. Maker knows he lacks subtlety. I'm the one who pulls strings to keep the coterie out of our hair. Keep us just a whisker ahead of the other families.
A lot of things can keep you awake, you know. I wouldn't reach for the doom first.
Sure, I could have a cup of tea in the morning, but I hear it's bad for you. I've spent my whole life in Kirkwall. Dangerous enough most days, but it doesn't compare to the deep roads. So, this will be, let's just call it an adventure, I guess.
Great. Now we're adventurous.